afternoon, good evening. My name is Brendan, and I'm going to be talking to you guys today about the Gulf Cooperation Council and what's going on right now with Qatar. Now, the Gulf Cooperation Council, or the GCC, is a group of countries that is Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Oman, and Saudi Arabia. Now recently, on Monday, June 5th, a blockade was placed by Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Egypt, so not just members of the GCC, but members of the Gulf region, because of rumors or allegations that Qatar and their sheikh, the ruler, were having sentiments towards Iran, or pro-Iranian sentiments, and may be funding terrorist groups. Now, this blockade has been talked about by many other countries around the area because it's a very important issue for the countries not just in the GCC, but in that surrounding area. It's a very volatile time right now because of all the terrorist groups that we already have that are influential in this region, and obviously this is why the blockade was done in the first place. If they believe that a terrorist group is being funded by a country, they obviously wanted that stopped. However, a blockade is a very serious move. They've said that the nationals for Qatari, or the Qatari nationals, people from Qatar, have to move back to their countries from the countries like Saudi Arabia and Bahrain. If they don't do so in 14 days or 2 weeks, then they will not be allowed back in or back out, no movement at all whatsoever. And already shipments of supplies and food to Qatar have been very limited, and now have only been really coming from Iran and supposedly from Turkey, or Turkey said that they'd be willing to help their brothers. And that brings us to a bigger point. With these sides kind of starting, you can see already a shift in the way that the region is looking, which is why Rex Tillerson and other people like Angela Merkel from Germany have been pushing that we try to solve the problem rather than create blockades and create hostility, because hostility could lead to a massive issue. People like Turkey and Iran and Qatar all on one side, where now, because Trump has been siding more on the Saudi Arabia side and has been strong against Qatar and strong against terrorist links, and he's really pushing strong on this and not mentioning anything about calming down, you kind of have the sides setting themselves up. Angela Merkel saying we need to relax, so Germany saying that. Turkey saying we need to relax, we need to renegotiate this. Russia saying we need to relax, we need to negotiate this. So you have those sides already set there, and now on the opposite side you have Saudi Arabia, who's already set up this blockade. They're very much for it, and they believe that Trump is going to back them up, and we just gave them a huge arms deal. So there's no reason why we wouldn't do this. At the end of the day, it sets up a pretty drastic scenario in front, looking as far as foreign relations. This is tricky and dangerous water here, and the wrong move in either direction could set off a huge dispute and a huge conflict inside this region that's already very, very volatile. This is why people like Rex Tillerson, who have dealt with oil and have been in that area for so long, are trying to relax things, because they know if they don't do that, the oil prices are going to go up, and we might not be able to even get much oil out of the region if it becomes too volatile. Which is why you have to be looking in the long term for situations like these. It might just be something right now that's going on. It's only a blockade. But if the conflict became hot and armies started going against each other, like Saudi Arabia and going against Qatar, and then Turkey coming in and Iran coming in, now you have a really big and volatile conflict, with the Saudis too being Sunni-based Muslims and Iran being a Shiite-based Muslim country for the most part. This is going to make it even bigger than just country versus country. This could be an entirely different fight altogether. So this is something that really needs to be talked about, and we're really not seeing much of it talked about at all. We're busy looking at Comey hearings or Jeff Sessions hearings. Our lack of focus on our impact on the greater world scheme is something that's becoming more and more apparent. And as far as other countries looking in, you cannot help but see that. We're focused a little bit too much on the glamour, the Super Bowl nature of these hearings, and we're not focused on the things that we actually need to be. these foreign affairs are very, very important, and we don't have much control over it. I mean, Trump's one meeting with the GCC Council in Riyadh, I mean, this has kind of triggered a set of events that were really like maybe a decade in the making. I mean, this is a long drawn out thing. I mean, this area, this Gulf region is unbelievably difficult to fully comprehend from country to country, and their motivation and their history behind everywhere. Some of us don't even care. It's not even a thought. Oh, could that be negative? We have to see how big our impact is. I mean, it's huge. I mean, this is something that apparently has been going on for a long time between these countries, and just a small interaction from Donald Trump. I mean, Saudi jumped at a chance to capitalize on this momentum that they saw. I mean, they've kind of been wanting to do something like this for quite some time. This is why we can't be so cavalier, running around and promoting our will and trying to be so dominant in places where we're not fully aware of all the little outliers. As well, with other countries around who are looking in on the situation, they see this area is volatile. We need to make them relax. No blockades. Hey, listen, relax. USA, please tell them to relax. Like, everyone just calm down. No terrorists. That's it. I've said it before. Donald Trump, no terrorists. That's it. That's how it's gonna be. To be honest though, I can't even fully put it all on Trump. I'm not sure that he even understands, especially looking at these Comey hearings now. I think his grasp on what he should know and understand is so much less. Just, he knows so little when it comes to really in-depth topics. So we just have to be aware, because they're not going to make us aware. I mean, you're not going to see this anywhere else. You're not going to really see Qatar put as a main focus unless you look outside news sources that are pushing that this needs to be solved. We want peace. We want resolve. A conflict over there means nothing good. It will impact the life of almost every part of the world just because of where it sits and how important that region is as far as the world is concerned. So with that being said, stay aware. I'm not going to stay aware. I'm not going to do it. Nope. You're an idiot, and I hate you.